everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am super excited to have my guest with me at this time, making her fourth appearance here on the podcast. She's an incredible musician, songwriter, and the creator of Blank Era. Please welcome JC Clark.
Howdy. Thank you for bringing me back to one of my favorite podcasts to be on ever.
Well, it's always a fun time chatting with you, and I know Blank Era has been very busy with everything, so I'm excited to catch up with you.
Yes, let's talk. I got a lot to yap about.
Good. I'm just going to stay silent the whole time.
Oh, no, don't do that. It'll get really off the rails with the quickness.
All right, well, before we dive into Blank Era, let's talk about A Day to Remember.
Yes. Okay, now we can really get off the rails. Just respect your surroundings, but respectfully, of course.
So I'm curious for you. I know I've asked you a lot of A Day to Remember, questions throughout the years, but I'm kind of curious. So what was like your first experience seeing the band live?
Oh, man. Well, my first experience seeing them actually kind of sucked because it was at Warped Tour. So it was like just a couple of songs and I was like way in the back. Just like a big festival setting isn't quite always the same as when you're in like a smaller room. So that time they were playing with Under Oath and who else was on that bill? Close Your Eyes, who has disbanded since then. But it was an amazing show. I was just like jaw on the floor the whole time. I love how they make their shows like an interactive experience for their fans with like the toilet paper and the beach balls and all of that. It kind of feels like it bridges that gap between artist and musician. And that's something that I personally have taken a lot of influence from. So I love that. I'm always looking for ways to make being a fan more fun and not just like band audience, that whole thing. So I really appreciate A Day to Remember's ability to kind of merge those worlds a little bit because I'm just a fangirl at heart too. So.
Oh, right on.
Really?
Right, yes. Oh, I can for sure. Actually, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but I've only seen A Day to Remember once live.
No.
And it was a very random, it felt kind of like a random lineup because it was Devil Wears Prada, Falling in Reverse, Papa Roach, and A Day to Remember was headlining.
Okay, goals, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great show, don't get me wrong. But it felt very odd, but also it actually was really well. I saw them in Chicago. I think it was the University of Chicago. They're like, basketball court arena kind of thing. But yeah, I had a great time. So that's my Day to Remember.
Welcome to the club.
But I think that was like, I want to say 2014 or 15, I want to say. Maybe 16.
Yeah. Well, I guess it has been a while. I know that Falling and Papa Roach did a couple of tours together recently, so my mind just went there. But I'm like, no, I would have known if A Day to Remember was on that. Like, let's be so for real.
Yeah, I think I want to say it was around the time of, was it Papa Roach's, what album? It had the one with American Dreams and all of that. I forget that. Crooked Teeth. So maybe that was 16, 17, I want to say.
Something like that. You're probably right. Dates, not my friend at all. Well, what day is today, honestly?
It's a day.
It probably ends in Y.
All right, well, how about speaking of days, though, so Yesterdaze.
Yes.
Your new single that you dropped, and I just want to say real quick, you dropped this single in December of 2025. Obviously we're in January now. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna drop an absolute banger to close out the year. I just want to point that out. You're like, I'm not done yet. I didn't hear a bell. Let me just drop this single.
Yeah, kind of. Yesterdays kind of felt like the perfect choice to end the year with. First of all, terrible time of the year to release a song because everybody's wrapped up in holidays and looking back at their end of year like Spotify Wrapped and all of that kind of stuff. But the song is such about like reflection and kind of like getting caught up in the spiral of just kind of what ifs of walking away from your past or whatever, that I'm like, this is the only time of year that makes sense to me. So I just said, F it. let's just do it anyway. It's kind of like the culmination of everything that I had been feeling in 2024. So I just kind of wanted to drop it at the end so that we can go into 2026 kind of knowing what to expect, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it's an absolute banger. You're
I'm
right.
so happy. So thank you.
Of course, it's funny. Speaking of that time of the year, like I was preparing for finals, so I didn't listen to it till like after Christmas. Sorry,
Yeah.
but very
Shame. Just kidding.
shouldn't have even admitted that. Like, yeah, I listened to it that
Oh,
day.
you're real, and I appreciate that.
That's what I go for. I try to be genuine
Yes.
because then I prefer being me most of the time.
Very, very clear distinction.
But yes, no, I very much enjoyed it. Definitely felt like kind of like the end of the year song of just like everything going on, especially like those 2 weeks that like, yeah, Christmas, New Year's, and then like before the first Monday, which is obviously the
Today.
day of this recording.
Back to work.
Yeah, that's basically how it felt. And I was listening to that and I was like, man, this vibe is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it always kind of felt like sort of that like weird purgatory between Christmas and New Year's where you don't know what day it is. You just kind of eat like crap the entire time and there's no rules. So that kind of what the song felt like to me. The lyrical content and just reflection really kind of made sense for the end of the year. And I just really wanted to end it with a big old boom. So check and mate.
I I can't even argue with that. I did perfectly summed up. You did my job.
Maybe I can do this by myself. Just kidding.
All right, hold on, I'm out of here.
I'm fired. It's okay.
I wouldn't fire you. I would just give a. I would give a neutral performance review.
Okay, threes across the board.
She shows up. All right, so but I'm kind of curious. So kind of going back, I believe this was in our first interview, maybe our second. But I know we talked about like song releases and how if the song release didn't do well, you weren't doing well. How
Mhm.
like has with this like growth and progress, is that kind of the same or like how is your kind of mindset going into a release now?
No, I kind of have tried to break myself of that and just sort of focus on how I feel about it. And I was really excited about this song in particular. So it was just exciting to be able to put it out. And if other people liked it, then obviously that's a bonus. That's what you do it for. But more importantly than anything, I had so much fun creating the song, creating all the visuals to go alongside it, talking about the message and just sharing that and kind of letting down my million-foot walls and kind of letting people into my process a little bit. So I'm super proud of it. And by extension, it's doing really well. So, maybe that's the trick. Don't care and things work out. Care less, everyone.
Well, hey, if you set the expectations low, it's easier
Yeah.
to climb over them.
100%. No, but no, for real. I think I always get kind of stuck in that overthinking pattern, which is kind of what the song is about, just kind of spiraling and overthinking. And you can absolutely overthink yourself to death. So just have fun. That's what it's all about. Having fun, doing what feels good and just writing it out. And if things don't work out, you could always pivot and learn from it and use it as fuel going forward. But like I said, as long as it feels good to you, that's more important than numbers could ever be. So we're not losing the plot anymore.
Very much so. And to me, there's always if you got to be proud of your work before like other people are proud of it. So if you're not feeling it, if you're not happy with it, then you can't really expect other people either to be happy with it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you find yourself in a place where you're creating for other people, you're doing it wrong. Just going to tell you right now, start over, back to the drawing board. Like when I listen to my songs, I know that they're done when I'm jamming it into the car. Like it is not my song at all. Like it's got to pass the headbang test and the ass shaking test. If it does both of those things, then I don't want to F with it too much more. I think we're good. But yeah,
That's a solid litmus test for testing songs.
if it makes you move and it makes you feel good, then you might be onto something. But I feel
Oh, for
like people get into like the thing of like sending it to like all of their friends or, whoever and being like, what do you think? And then they let all of those outside opinions kind of like screw with their head before the thing is even out. So I'm like, no, your instincts were probably correct. Just listen.
That's definitely one thing that I've been really working on the last couple months is like trusting myself that if something doesn't feel right, I don't do it. And if something does feel right, I do it kind of thing. And I think I've really kind of been leaning on that. Like, it's always good to have, in some cases to have outside opinions for stuff. But at some point, you kind of, if you can't trust yourself to do something, then it's kind of like, why are you doing it kind of thing.
Bingo. That's exactly it. Like I said, you can always take advice from people, but you got to learn to take it with a grain of salt, kind of keep it in the back, but don't let it like steer the ship, because then it's no longer for you. It's for everybody else. And you lose yourself in that. And what made it special in you is now gone. If you want to do everything this person says, well, now it sounds like them, or it sounds like this person. And I want to hear what you have to say or what I have to say, you know?
Oh yeah, you can't lose your voice in what you're doing because then it's not your voice anymore. It's not what you do anymore, and that's something I've definitely again been really working on for myself. Is like what would make me happy, like kind of thing. And sometimes the stuff I think about, like maybe people won't care what I have to say about it, but at least I'm gonna get it out there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And that I think that we've touched on this before, but like there's no way to appease everybody. So no matter what changes you make to anything, there's going to be somebody out there that's, in the comments section screaming mid, lame, and who cares? I feel like the more authentically you show up and the more you put yourself into it, then seeing stuff like that from some nameless profile just makes you go, meh, whatever. Not for you then.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm sorry. Profile with a tree as your picture. I'm sorry. Maybe it's not for you.
Yeah, exactly. Now I kind of like, ooh, we're crashing now, literally. But now I kind of I laugh and celebrate when I get a hate comment. I mean, I don't love them, don't get me wrong, but I kind of celebrate it because it means that it made somebody have a reaction. Somebody cared enough to say anything, whether it was good or bad. And, that's better than just being lukewarm on something. So at least you're creating a reaction.
Oh, for sure. And I will say, like, I mean, I don't really get too many hate comments on my stuff, which is a nice thing. But it's always funny when you get like a creative hate comment where it's not just like, yo, you suck or something like that. It's actually someone put thought to diss you in this and it actually makes sense, like a little bit of sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They give you like a drive by, like, ouch, you got me, bitch.
I mean, I gotta respect that though, because you could tell when people like take time to like make a comment like that instead of just
Yeah.
the normal run of the mill things. I will say I do respect that.
Oh, it's so funny. Like somebody made fun of the way that I dressed, and I was like, they dissed it by saying that it was like a dated skater punk gorillas look, and I was like, that's exactly what I wanted to go for. So nailed it. Thank you. I'm gonna type that into my search bar next time I'm looking for more items like that. That was the point. Thank you for telling me that I hit it.
See, and some of that stuff just works in your favor anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I cackled. I'm like, wow, I was exactly as cool as I thought I was. Again, faceless person that created this profile just to say that with me. Like, at least say it with your chest, bitch.
For sure.
Like,
For
have
sure.
the balls to say it on your profile. You're gonna create one at 9 p.m. like, just to troll me.
See, that's why in all my stuff I always have a picture of me on there. So if I'm saying something, it's actually me.
Exactly. But I love it. What a good time.
Oh, no,
Nothing like
exactly.
waking up and having somebody hurt your feelings first thing in the morning.
Well, and it always seems like the hate comments, at least from when I receive stuff, it's at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It's
Always. It's like you wake up to it and you see that it was like posted 6 hours prior. I'm like, that's what you were doing at 4:30 a.m. Wow. Couldn't be me.
I'm probably up at 4:30 in the morning, but I'm usually playing video games, so that's just me.
Yeah. I'm not hating on somebody just having a good time.
Yeah, that's definitely not on my agenda for the day or night.
Those are always my favorite hate comments too, or when people were like, nobody cares about this song. And I'm like, well, then I should probably post about it more if nobody cares. Nobody found their audience by posting less, bitch. Like, let's go. I got to work harder.
Well, but it always gets me too. Is like, well, you felt strongly enough to comment on this, which means you care at least, either negative or positively. You still care about it.
Exactly. And my favorite is now the algorithm thinks that you are interested in this content, so I'm going to haunt you forever now.
Exactly. It's just perfect. It works out great.
I love karma. I love it. Nothing makes me happier than somebody like talking a bunch of crap and then they have to constantly see me on the internet like just hating their life, punching air.
No, exactly, and especially like with your content, because you always just look like you're having a great time and actually like happy about what you're doing compared to like other people on the internet who look miserable. You actually look like you enjoy, what you're
Yeah,
doing.
that's another thing that I've really tried to work on in 2024 was I felt like I was being a negative little Nancy, being like, ugh, I have to create content. That's so lame. And I would create a bunch of content that I hated making. But now I found ways to like just be goofy and have fun. And now if I find myself creating content that I'm like hating making, I just scrap the entire idea and go back to doing something goofy like dancing in my bedroom and just like making dumb faces and writing stupid little texts, and I'm like, that brings me joy. And then I get to like chat with everybody in the comment section and goof around with them, and I love that. That makes me have so much fun, brightens my day when I'm not in the mood to show up, or like I'm in a crappy headspace or whatever. Just posting something silly, kind of making fun of my shitty spaces sometimes can turn the entire day around.
Oh, for sure. And well, for everyone watching, she actually does respond to all the comments. So I know I've commented on things and you respond to me.
I always try. I mean, obviously, there's sometimes where things fall through the cracks. I'm not a perfect person, dare to dream. But I love being able to say at least a thank you or give a little heart to anybody that pops in and says, hi, I like your song, added this to my playlist, because hell yeah, let's go. Welcome to the team. You're in.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But now I got to transition, got to cover a few more things as well. Because as I said in the intro, you've been very busy with everything. You dropped some new merch. You got a store up and all of that fun stuff.
I
So
did it.
where can people buy some Blank Air merch?
Oh man, I have it on. If you go to the bio in any of my socials at in my blank era, it will take you to our merch store. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have stickers, we have a little canvas bag to carry all your shit. And I am just so excited about that. I've been wanting to do merch for a long time, but I didn't know if people wanted it. But with the release, I was like, we should just try to get some basics out there, just a logo t-shirt, this and that, and see how it goes. And when I tell y'all that it blew up on that first day, I literally cried because I'm like, I can't believe that people care this much just about a silly little t-shirt with some lime green font on it. But I'm so grateful. It was so much fun. I was happy to be able to bring it to everybody, and I can't wait to create more. So stay tuned, because spring and summer are coming and I have lots of ideas, and each one will be getting progressively more ridiculous as I figure this out, but I'm still new, so we're learning.
So is there going to be like a Blank Air, like whacking inflatable two men?
God, I hope so. That would be so cool. Or like at least a little stuffed animal of one that you can just woo yourself. Like, I don't
Like,
know what that sound effect was. So.
as long as people don't take that out of context.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. No,
That's gonna be the main takeaway from this interview now.
you know what? We take our wins where we can.
But what I was gonna transition to is that I will have a link in the description of this podcast as well. Make sure to pick up some awesome, sweet looking merch, and it's just so cool. Like it's always funny when like things kind of like blow up or like people are actually interested in. Like I made a very short like I had like 4 or 5 of these purple logo hats, and
Yeah,
everybody wanted them, and I'm like, wow, I didn't expect that.
exactly. Yeah, I think that I've always tried to be like ahead of it where I'm like, okay, well, we need to have merch, and like nobody's even asking for it yet. So I kind of, this is the first time that I was waiting for people to say, hey, when are you getting t-shirts? Is there a store I can go to order a hoodie, this and that? And I'm like, No, because I'm poor, so I don't know how to do that. But actually, I'm going to give a shout out to our mutual friends in the Almas who put me on to the print on demand service, and that is how I was able to give this a try. And so far, I ordered my merch for myself. I paid for my own merch so I could check out the quality and make sure that what everybody was getting was going to be good. And yeah, shout out Almas, you really came in clutch with that.
Oh, they're incredible people and super hardworking. Like, they're like always
100%.
constantly touring,
Cannot
and
say enough good things about them. They were they let me crash their stage when they came through Nashville last, and I got to sing a little song with them, and that made me feel good. So shout out Crystal and Frank, love y'all.
oh yeah, just incredible people with everything. So I'm glad, good connections with everything, that you got everything up and running.
Yeah, I tell them all the time that I'm glad our friendship has extended past the group chat from tours.
It's funny. That's how I actually met you, is because you
Yeah,
guys were at the time touring with the Almas. I think that was like 2023,
2021.
21. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
because it was literally we started that tour like a month after I moved to Nashville. So I was like, I got settled in and I was like, peace, I'm out.
Wow. Can't believe it's
Never
been.
stop moving.
That was like 4.5, 5 years ago.
I know. Oh my God, that's disgusting.
All right.
Time
Well,
moves too fast. It's like moves too fast and too slow all at the same time. I'm confused.
oh, that's me in constant state. So with the music video for Yesterdaze, so I will have a link for it in the descriptions. But how was it, and where did you film?
We filmed it at SIR in Las Vegas, which was super cool. I had the best time. It was one of the greatest experiences that I was a part of. I had a very kind of clear vision for what I wanted. And Jonathan and Brian just kind of really slayed exactly what was going on up here and made it like a million times cooler. So that is always a plus. It was one of the first times where I was on a set and I was looking at all the footage and going, I don't know how you're going to choose shots because this all looks just freaking epic. I'm so stoked in all the best possible ways. So yeah, that was really, really cool. The first time I got to perform outside of, twirling in my bedroom for a while, which felt really good. And, was like, oh, okay, I still got it. It's still in there. The feral performing rat that lives inside is still ready to go. Didn't lose it yet.
Never lose it.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say that it was the first video that I've ever done in my life where I was like trying to wear a hat and it prohibited me from doing my infamous hair flip. So lesson learned. But again, nobody cares about that but me. But I was like, I feel so okay. But I needed to keep it on for continuity. But little
Yeah, I
things
mean,
again, only I care about.
but now, but you need the hair flips though. Like that's like.
Next time, I was just like, man, I feel like I always have a hat on online, so I want to stick with that. So when people see it, they'll like know it's me. But I think we're eventually going to break away because I want to hair flip and headbang and just be in a whirlwind of blonde. Why not?
I don't think I could sum that up any better. But like, yeah, 2026, no hats.
No hats in 2026.
And we're already off to a great start.
Yeah, both of us just crushing hats right now.
I feel like this interview is just us making, like, we talk about some things and then we just make jokes.
That's 100% it. I think that's better.
I'm having a great time, so
Yeah.
hopefully you are as well.
I am not a serious person by any. I'm like I am a serious person, but I'm also a goofy person, and I would just much rather be a goof on this and just have fun and make dumb little jokes. And I'm glad that you are down to do so with me.
Hey, that's what the podcast is all about, having fun and talking music,
Yeah.
and we are accomplishing both.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like a lot of rock bands just take themselves so serious, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Please teach me if you can. But I am much more comfortable just being like the queen of cringe. So
You know what? I'm totally for it. I am
yeah,
all for
yeah,
it.
it just means I'm having a good time. And you know what? After years of depression, I need this. Let a girl live.
I feel that. I feel that. But what I was gonna say with that, so I'm kind of curious for you. Like, with music videos, like, do you approach like filming a music video differently than like recording music?
I kind of see them all in the same world. It's just kind of like different parts of my brain. So like Yesterdaze, for instance, I knew as soon as I tracked that song, this is going to be the one that I kick off like the new era, if you will, with. And in my head, I was like, I want to do a music video to this because I feel like I need like a full scale visual representation of who the band is. Since we're not playing shows yet, like I wanted to be able to like give that. And also like the whole thing is in black and white because in my brain, Rotted, the previous EP was sort of like RIP to the old me kind of thing. And then Yesterday's is like the purgatory before you kind of step into your new chapter. So I really wanted black and white, clean slate, like a visual, literal representation of blank nothingness, and then little flecks of green that were sort of at least in my brain representing like green flags and green light, or just like the permission to move forward. You can go now, we're done here. So I was really hell-bent and annoying about all of those things. I'm glad that I stuck to my guns there.
Oh no, for sure. It's kind of obviously what we talked about, earlier with trusting yourself and going with
Yeah.
what, makes you happy. Again, music video turned out awesome. It captures like the energy of, like just you and blank air and all of that. I think it captured it really well.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I just wanted it to be high energy performance, showcasing all of that. And then just in this like new clean world, still wearing our tattered clothes and, covered in dirt, like we just crawled our ass out of the grave, but we're in this brand new, untouched, clean space. And I just really love that idea. So like I said, I was annoying, but I got a producer credit on the video, which I've never had a producer credit before. And so I feel really accomplished. But all of that to say, I didn't even answer your question. I'm sorry. But sometimes, like when I have a song, I will automatically like see the visual for it in my head, and then it's just a matter of whether or not I can like figure out how to reasonably execute that with my budget, which is like. But
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that with it's always the balance of what would I like to do and what can I afford to do.
what can I reasonably do, and what is just too cray cray? Because
Like
that's why we bounce ideas off other people. And I'm like, is this cool? And then if they're like, no, I'm like, well, I think it is still. So we're going to do it anyway. Let's just figure out a better way.
I did that to somebody and their response was, so why'd you ask?
Yeah. It was more for me. I just really wanted to be bossy and say no.
I should have just said that too.
Yeah. Just going to flex on myself.
Oh, exactly.
I'm practicing boundaries. I'm going to say something that I know that I'm going to have to say no to, just to see if I'll actually do it. Or will I cave? I didn't. Yes.
See, that's that growth. Before we start to close out this interview, so I have two fun questions that are not music related that I've only asked one other guest.
Uh-uh.
So I'm curious for you. So the first question, I've not asked this question, I think in like 2 years. So I'm curious for you. With your tattoos, so what was your first tattoo and your most recent one?
Oh boy. Let's think. My first one, I can't show it, but it's right here on my shoulder. And it's just like claw marks, and they're filled in with leopard print because I was like, oh, I love cats. And so I wanted to have my little wild cat peeking out. At least that was the idea. In reality, it low-key looks like the Monster logo. But it's my first tattoo. I didn't know any better. I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of went in, didn't do any research, and it shows. But that's okay. I love it for that. And it's on my back, so I don't really get to look at it. My most recent one, though, is, which one is the most recent? Is it this one? Oh, I think it's my little buffalo guy right here. I got that after a tour. There's this game on tour called Buffalo where it's you're sworn in, and if you are caught drinking anything. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It can be sparkling water. It can be hot sauce. It can be maple syrup, ketchup, anything liquidy. If it is in your dominant hand and somebody in the game says buffalo, you in fact then have to chug it. So I was terrible at it. And so I got a buffalo on my dominant hand so I could look down, see it, and be like, oh, switch. But I also thought it was just like a cute way to commemorate the game because it was so much fun. And that tour was like really life changing. It was my first time doing a cross country tour and like seeing the West Coast and all that. So it was just like, it's just a really good memory.
Very
That's
nice.
also dumb.
Hey, but it's a great memory attached to it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so one other one. This is definitely a more recent one that I've asked, but you'll be the second guest who I've asked. So I'm curious for you. If you got into a bar fight and there's four people trying to fight you, which three musicians throughout history, anyone you'd like, that would you want to back you up in a fight?
Oh, okay. I feel like 3 hours from now, I'm going to have a different answer because somebody else will pop into my head. Um, the first one that's coming to me is Ronnie Radke because he is just decimating people online all the time. So I feel like he's just ready to go. He's ready to jump in and like at least verbally like take somebody out. Who else? This is kind of a wild card. I feel like Chapel Roan is also really good at just being like, no, bitch, and shutting it down. Again, I don't know if they can actually fight at all. I cannot. I have never thrown a punch ever in my life. I've never been in a fist fight with anyone except for my brother when we were kids. So I'm useless. Also just a mouthy girl. So I feel like I need somebody with some muscle. And I can't think of anybody. M Shadows?
That would be a great motley crew, though.
Yeah. Ronnie, Matt Shadows, Chaperone, and freaking Jace Face. Like, let's go.
You know what? I'm in for it. I hope that happens. Well, not that people fight you, but
I hope not.
the four of you are hanging out somewhere.
Yeah. I would be really good at throwing things, I feel. Like I would like pick up a chair and be like, ooh, you better not. Like see how tough that sounded?
Very convincing.
Again, yeah. Again, I will probably have better answers in like 3 hours when I'm like, oh, duh, that was like the go-to. But I'm sticking with it. I like my instincts.
I think you got some great ones. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right. Well, as we're closing this interview out, JC, it's always a fantastic time chatting with you, full of a bunch of laughs and just a great time. So I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me back. I mean, obviously, I have such a good time when we chat. This is like one of the podcasts that I always look forward to because I'm like, oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be so good. And yeah, I'm always grateful that you hit me up and asked me to come back because I love this.
Oh yeah, I do as well. You're like, not that I would rank or list anyone, but you're always one that like I want to interview. Just
Number one. You heard it here. He said it. Just kidding.
Sure.
Whatever you need to believe, delusion.
Definitely did not say that part. But so how's since we're just kicking off 2026, barely a few days into it, how is the rest of this year like looking like for Blank Era?
Busy, hopefully. So I put Rotted out at the end of 2024. I spent all of 2025 in the studio basically working on new music, put one song out so that I can crash out about it all this year. Starting, I don't know how much I can say just yet. But there's going to be a song coming out this month. Cause let's just start the year off with the bang. Like yesterdays are yesterday. It's time to move on. Let's keep it pushing. So there will be a song coming out at the end of the year. it will be a collab with another artist, which is why I don't know if they want me to say it yet, but it will be happening. So keep your eyes peeled for that soon. Depending on when this comes out, I might already be talking about it. So stay tuned.
We will wait and see. But for everyone watching, where are the best places to find Blank Era online?
Oh man, everywhere. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. At In My Blank Era is where you can find me. And I always trip that. You know, one day okay, I'm going to start over. My New Year's resolution is to learn how to get my own @ handle correct when I talk about it. Every time I get tripped up and dyslexic, and I'm like, who am I? Where do I go?
Well, I will make it easier. All the links will be in the description of this podcast. You know, wherever you're active, whatever platform, follow Blank Era. Links will be in the description.
Find me. I'm there. I'm addicted. I am chronically online personified.
Yeah, I feel that. That's me. But at least I will say you're at least consistent with your handles. Like all of my stuff is like someone like had a similar one or had to take, so I have to like take different ones. You know, so at least you're consistent.
I did that specifically because I knew that if they were not all the same, I would forget. So it was really just for selfish reasons.
Well, it works out great from a marketing standpoint too.
Period.
But thank you again. It's always a fantastic time. As I said, please check out and support Blank Era. Yesterdaze currently out right now with all of that. But JC, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome. As always, never expect any less.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But for JC Clark of Blank Era, I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.